Solving, whoops. Guys, today we're talking about solving quadratics, right? Solving quadratic equations. Let me give you the steps that we're going to use to solve quadratics. The first thing you're going to do when you're trying to solve them is you're going to factor. That's going to be step one. After you factor, step two is going to be set equal to 0. And then finally, step three is going to be just to solve. So 3 steps to these equations, 3 steps, factor, set equal to 0, solve. Let's take a look at this first problem. Let's take a look at this first problem. Now the problem with this one is you can't factor it just yet. You kind of have to get it in that good quadratic form, like something squared plus something x plus something else. So what do you think we do? Gemini? Yeah, of course, we're going to distribute first. Like I said, we got to get it in that good form. So it's going to be like 3 plus x squared minus x equals 5. Yeah? Let's reorganize a little bit. Make sure it's all lined up correctly. So we got x squared minus x plus 3 equals 5. Yeah? Now, here's where we're going to get started with our, this top set of examples. We're not going to factor just yet. Let's first set it equal to 0. I'll explain to you what I mean. Always set it equal to 0 first. So x squared minus x minus 2 equals 0. Okay, now here we go. So all this preliminary stuff has nothing to do with the steps on top, right? This is just us setting up the equation, getting it ready for our operation. Now, step 1, factor it. What does this factor into being? So this was all preliminary stuff, right? All these steps, just getting it ready. Anytime you're given a quadratic equation, you really need to get it into this form in order to be able to proceed with these 3 steps, okay? Once you get it in this form, it's all cookie cutter. You can just do this. But before then, it will be like a little creative on your behalf as to how you get it there. Okay, so you're at this stage right now. What do? Step 1, you got to factor it. What does that factor into being? Give me 2 numbers. Multiplying to -2, adding to -1. Yeah. Yeah, let's do this, right? So we got, let's factor this. We got x minus 2, x plus 1 equals 0. Okay, now we're factoring. That's our first part. Now we're going to set these equal to 0. You know what I mean by that? I mean, we're going to take this idea that when you multiply something by 0, you always get 0. So we're going to find what number, if we subbed in this parentheses, would make it 0, and what number, if you subbed in this parentheses, might make it 0. And there's our answer. All right, number 2, 2x squared plus 4x equals 30. You know, we talked a little bit about like how they're all these problems are a little different until you can get them into one form and then they all become cookie cutter. What do you think we do in this one? Come on. Yeah, let's subtract 30. Nice. Now we can make, Gemini. It's brilliant. I was just about to say that. Yeah, we could have done that first, or we could do it now, right? To make the problem easy to factor, because we have we have some large numbers here, let's divide every single one of these terms by 2 and make it a little bit easier, nicer to look at. So this is x squared plus 2x minus 15 equals 0. Nice. Right? We got a quadratic equation, x squared plus 2x minus 15 equal to 0. It's in its cookie cutter form. What do you do now? What's step 1? Factor. Yeah, let's factor it up. 2 numbers that multiply to be -15 but add to be +2 are Yeah, 3 and 5, x plus 5, x minus 3. After you factor it, what do? Yeah, you find out how much x should be. You set each of these parentheses equal to 0, and you solve it. So minus 5, right? We're going to get x equals negative 5. We're going to add 3 and add 3. Jess, what's up, girl? Okay, good. Add 3, and there's our answer. Nice. So our third problem is a word problem. The length of a rectangle is 2 feet shorter than twice its width. The area of the rectangle is 84 feet. Find the dimensions. Well, first thing we're going to do is draw a picture. We've got a rectangle. At least we know that much. We know that the area is 84. And then they were really annoying because they didn't tell us what the length of the width was. They said the length of a rectangle is 2 feet shorter than twice the width. The length is 2. So we're going to say W equals the width. The length of a rectangle is 2 feet shorter than twice the width. So 2W minus 2 equals the length. Let me make sure I'm right. The length of a rectangle is 2 feet shorter than twice the width. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Now let's fill in what we know. Well, this is going to be our width. This is going to be our length. Area of a rectangle is what? Area is length times width, right? So the area, let's write that down, just as stuff that we know. Area is length times width. And all we're going to do is just fill it in. Area happened to be 84. The length in this particular case was 2W minus 2. The width was W. Well, that's going to be annoying. Yeah, we're going to just distribute it. We're going to FOIL it up. We're going to FOIL it up. 84 equals 2W squared minus 2W. You know. Carly? Yeah, we're going to minus 84. Minus 84, so 0 equals 2W squared minus 2W minus 84. Now, those are some big numbers we're throwing down there. Yeah, let's divide them all by 2. Excellent. Great suggestion, Brandon. So divide them all by 2. 0 equals W squared minus 1W minus 42. Who knows of two numbers multiplying to be 42, adding to be negative 1? Multiplying to be negative 42, adding to be negative 1. 7 and 6. Yeah, great job. Yep. So now we're going to factor it. We're going to set these equal to 0. We're going to solve it. So the width is 7. And then we have some other option for the width. The width could be negative 6, right? No, why not? Yeah, this makes no damn sense. None at all. Reject this. Whoops. You can't have a width be negative, right? You could write the words reject, or if you're real lazy, you could just go like that. Now, are we done? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we're done yet. Find the dimensions of this rectangle. Nope, not done yet. Not done yet. we are going to plug it back in. If you're real lazy, you can just do this. The width is 7. 2 times 7 minus 2 is how much? 12. You are going to have to be real careful about that. Real careful. In fact, I really wouldn't recommend you writing your answers like that because people will miss them. What you really need to do is go like this. I know this is really annoying. The width equals 7 and the length equals 12. And circle it up. I suppose maybe you could go like this. Instead of writing it on that side, right? Since we could get lost in that, then we could write it on the other side. So the width equals 7. Oh, come on. And the length equals 12. Just like that.